Good afternoon. This is episode 32. We are in Norman's Orchids. You could also like us at YouTube under Norman's Orchids to see the previous post. Obviously, if you're here, you're going to see it live and probably 2 or 3 in advance of YouTube. This is Hannibal. Today we have Jeff, the director, Roger Lee, the cameraman, Brian, of course, always in behind helping Norman get ready, and there's that guy, whatever his name is, going to come on right after me. That guy. Anyway, so today we're going to do a really quick segment for the pre-show because today we have the Phil Fanatic for the members of Phil Fanatic. If you're not Phil Fanatic, our nonprofit, please join. Today we're doing a Q question and answer with Brendan Tam from the Huntington and Norman Fang. So that would be at 3 o'clock. The Phil Fanatic people, please go on to Phil Fanatic page and then sign up. Or not sign up, I'm sorry. Just log on and then the Q&A will be on at 3 p.m. So today we're just going to do, since the holidays are approaching, here's Hannah. Roger. She just needs her 2 seconds. Since the holidays are approaching, so I found these new containers that I absolutely adores. This one I love because the Phalaenopsis is when they're straggly like this, you know, if I don't want to use the foam or anything, it's really hard to just display. And these are just things that I went through the bench and cut off. So obviously this comes apart. Just use it as a vase, right? Fill up the water and you could just put it in. It'll stand for you. Again, when you do cut flower, cut it at an angle so you get as much exposure that it'll drink water for you. So you could just, voila. It acts like a foam, so it'll just be easy, quick if you want to go through the greenhouse, clean up your greenhouse, and you just got that instant vase. Again, cut it at an angle, and voila, you have an instant vase. And this is just something you could put in the kitchen or anywhere you want. But basically, if you have flowers like this straggly in the greenhouse, just go ahead and cut it off, and because you want to focus on the plant. There's no point in having 2 flowers, just take so much energy away from your plant. So here is what I found. We probably will offer these with the jumpers or with the orders. But with the orders, I think we would have to tag on like $2 or $3 on freight. I haven't figured that out. So we'll probably put this on later. Again, these are versatile. So if you don't have cut flower, just take this off. And you can use this for a vase. So again, you know, just let your imagination go. You could do this, and underneath I could put a candle or whatsoever. You could just, you know, or put it aside for now. If not, you put this back on, Mr. Director, turn off your phone, then you got your vase again. Or you could do a candle or whatsoever. Or you don't have to be doing it for orchids. You could do it for roses, whatsoever. You could also cut this down and then do it for base as well, right? This will help you hold it. So this cage thing will help you do a lot, help you hold it for display purposes, okay? So that's what this hurricane is. It's versatile, so you could do it both ways. Use it for a vase, or I think this is amazing. For me, just cutting some flowers, I don't have to worry about getting foam wetted and make arrangement and then have to cover the foam. I just bam, bam, my arrangement is done. Okay. Then I found this cute little thing. I actually found it for my violets, my miniature 2-inch violets. Then I came across this little orchids. So these cages are great. Mostly you could do little calendulae or little half flower, or you could do cut flower as well. If you have 1 flower or 2 flowers, you could just put it in here. And everything today is about display for the holidays coming up. It's easy. You could just find whatever flower that you broke off, like I broke plenty. Then you could just throw it in there, float it with water, or you could even put candles, the floating candles for all the holidays. Roger and I are already buying the fire pit for our balconies for the winter coming up. So obviously I'm going to have a lot of these, and I could also use this for candles. If I have it at home, I can stick a candles up and just use it. But anyway, these are cute. These are grapevine. And these I love. These are the new ones I found. Again, you could just take it off the stand to use it, or you could use it for this way. And a lot of time I use these for food as well. Breadsticks, dips, or whatever you wanted to do. So everything, a lot of times I run out of cups for my orchids. I go grab my mug or whatsoever. Norman will give us. Huh?
Who's that person next to you?
Oh, I don't know who that person is. He always crash my style. Hey, I think we'll promote it. This is our new one. I'm gonna make Norman promote this. This is a great color. I don't even know the name. Great root system. But then voila, you have an instant arrangement here. Any questions? Nope. That goes. See how easy these fill up? Perfect, right? Very, very easy.
So you can just put it on the dining table.
Dining table. I like to. We have dining table. Our Lazy Susan is marble, so this will match really well, Roger. The white one. We could put 3 of these together, and then you just have 3. Just eclectic. Remember how we do parties at home? I have lots of these little vases. Sometimes I just put 1 flowers on it or 1 rose on it. So 1 per seating. So holidays are approaching. I know we cannot have a lot of families, but this will make our table full and festive. Here's another thing I wanted to show you guys. I'm doing a quick segment today. I know I gotta stop talking. Sometimes these don't fit perfectly. Let's just pretend this doesn't fit all the way through. You got this plastic showing, right? So what I do is take a pair of scissors. Hey guys, cut it. And it's usually really easy. If not, cut it again. And then you could just flop it all in. See, now you don't see any plastic. Okay, that's a neat little trick. But now yeah, you still got your grow pot. So this is a good decoration. Is there any questions, Jeff?
We're trying to solve the Wi-Fi issue.
Oh.
So, no questions from everybody. And let's still say hi.
Hi, little bro. We have an amazing group of jumpers again this week. See how these just kind of falls right in. And then with botanicals or paths, I like to have a little bit of water inside. So having a container that holds water is advantageous, but don't let it flood. So just kind of fill up the bottom a little bit with water. Okay. And how do we winterize? Does anybody have any problem about winterizing their growing area?
Yeah, you can. I guess Norman talked about the heating pad.
We don't do heating pad because I don't even know what to do with a heating pad. I did drag a heater into my little office. But anyways, so this is what you could do. It's just cut a little bit and then just, that way you don't see, I mean, for me, I hate seeing the plastic. Like this is almost borderline for me to cover. A lot of time you could do rocks, stones, moss. But if you cut it enough, you don't really even have to. And this container again is, you could take it apart and then you can use it again as it. So you, essentially 1 container, you have 2 use for it.
Yeah, people is just going to buy this.
We're gonna offer it. Probably offer it on the jumper. Or I'll post it. It's probably better to buy it with your orchid order or with a jumper, because I think to ship it by itself, it might be too costly with the freight on its own. So I think I'll probably post it, and if you have an order either with jumpers or with our orders, regular .com orders, we'll let you buy it and just probably tag on $2 or $3 on the freight versus paying $15.99 for a box of freight. So whatever is feasible. I'm trying to help find good container for everybody. These I found through my wholesale sources in Texas, but of course they never sell anything local. But I will try to make it as more economical for people. For the jumper people, obviously you could buy it with your jumper, and we'll just tag on $3 for extra shipping. Yeah. Hey, what's your name? Are you almost ready? What did he say? Oh, he's getting water. The 26th, which is the day after Christmas, is a Saturday. We're gonna take a break. Norman's gonna go to Portland for a little vacation. So the 26th of the day after Christmas, we're not gonna have a podcast. We're trying to figure out the 2nd of January, which is a Saturday. Do you guys want us to do a podcast? Jeff is going to be in town. Nobody's going anywhere. If you want to do a podcast, we can. Just let us know. Give us some comments if you want us to do. Maybe we'll do a poll later, Jeff, for January 2nd. If we wanted to have a podcast or not. Roger, you're working, right?
No, I don't work on January 2nd.
Okay.
I work on the 26th.
So January 2nd, if you like us to do a podcast, we probably could entertain it. But definitely the 26th, we're not. Everybody's going to have a break for Christmas holiday. Okay? And here it comes.
We'll make it January 2nd. Jamie will be all dressed for New Year.
Oh, no, I was so disappointed. I was going to be all decked out. Or maybe I'll be decked out before. So anyway, don't forget to invite your friends that's not in the U.S. to like our YouTube under Norman's Orchids. Share the love, share our teaching around the world. I think we have a lot of people now in Australia and I think France. I don't know, or the whole group of them join.
Oh, this is cute.
Isn't that cute, Norman?
I can use a flower.
Kara says, how about we make it
is-
a party and celebrate 2020 being over?
Oh my God, can I throw a big old party for 2020 being over?
Why not? I won't be here.
No, that's Christmas.
No, that's
You're
January.
here.
We'll talk about January 2nd.
I might be still up there.
You still gonna be up
On
there?
my vacation.
You haven't approved it. You better send me a memo.
I approve myself.
You're fired.
Oh, good.
Anyways, isn't this cool, Norman?
Yes, I like that.
Okay, well,
It's an instant
instant arrangement because
Yeah, I like
sometimes
that.
you're just going through the greenhouse and you just want to cut
Where
a
can I get it?
couple.
Are you selling it?
Yeah, I think I'll sell some.
Oh my
I
God,
grabbed
I
some.
want some.
I know you want some. I already got some for you.
Can I take it to Oregon?
No, because you're gonna. Never mind. And can you release this plant? Because this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tonight.
Tonight we'll release it because
I
this
will let everybody know.
this has got great
fragrance.
colors.
It's
and
fragrance too.
Fragrance. It is miniature and the color's amazing. You got fall in the back color and you got Christmas in the front.
It's good for
Hey,
Christmas.
Jeff, you missed this whole line here. Fall for Thanksgiving, Christmas, the red in the front. Ha ha. Jeff, you can laugh, you know. He's like thumbs up.
You can tell she's a business major.
Okay, so yeah, so look at Norman, you missed this one.
Oh.
Isn't
Did
this
Crystal
cute?
like it? I like that.
Oh, I'm sure Crystal already wanted these.
Michael
Can you take this over?
That one went home.
Yeah, Jeff will take some home.
Oh, that's cute. That's
Oh,
classy.
that one went home.
You can even use it as a candle holder.
That's what I said. I use this for breadsticks or dips or
Roses.
hey,
Coffee in the morning.
yeah, you
You
can
put
get
your
the mug.
coffee mug in it.
Whatever. If you ran out of it, you could get it. Hey, Mr. Whoever you are. I guess. All right, guys. Yeah, sorry to be really quick here. I'm being kicked off, so because we got the Phil Fanatic stuff. I'm gonna turn my mic off. Have a great weekend.
Finally, she's out of here.
Hey, can I have this? Can I have this? Wait.
Hello, everybody. I'm that guy. My name is Darwin Fang, and welcome to the new member we have this week. I think we have another 25 people showing up. My name is Darwin Fang, and I started the Norman's Orchid about 1986 when I graduated from college. So today's topic is we had done some of the previous week, and Jeff had put area on the page that for all the previous podcasts, so that'll be easier to. Yeah, I think it's on the upper right hand side of the Facebook page. So you can go there to see if you're a new member. You can go to see our. This is our 32 week, right?
30-second.
32nd, yes. Okay. So this week is on the Botanical Orchid, and when I say we do have a botanical zone.
Right here.
This is my deaf ear.
Oh. Well, it's to pick up. It's the mic.
Hello. Okay. So this we do on our website. We do have a category called Botanical Orchid. So Botanical Orchid means is anything is not Phalaenopsis, Cattleya, Paphiopedium, Dendrobium, and that's it. Okay. So we kind of lump in there, and the fall season is here. And I used to work at the retail garden center when I was in college, and the slogan for garden center is "Fall is for planting." And unfortunately, orchid is the fall is not really a good season for planting a lot of orchid because a lot of the majority of the orchid like Cattleya, Phalaenopsis, are spring bloomer. Okay, so you don't want to repot or buy any bare-rooted orchid from overseas or anywhere because the physiology of the plant is going to the fall moon or the winter moon because notice that the day is getting shorter, night getting longer, and night temperature also getting cooler. And unless you are going under light, but for those people who go under light, you still want to change your timing of your light from 16 hours maybe down to 12 hours, so that give the plant a sense of seasonal changes. The shorter day length, like even from 16 to 12 hours, and for our case, maybe on about 8 hours a day now, is going to change tell the plant internally the hormone to change from a lot of oxygen for the leaf, for the growth, to cytokinin. I call the oxygen is the male hormone, okay, to female hormone, the reproduction. So the cooler night temperature, short day is going to change in the hormone from, it's kind of ebb and flow. Lower oxygen and then more cytokinin, which is like female hormone for reproduction, which is flower. So they're going to do that. So you don't want to change repotting. Even though fall is for planting, yes, it's for a lot of the tree. This is the time you talk to maybe some roses, bare-rooted roses, or even your fall blooming annual. But for orchid, this is the best time for the year. Since we're not doing any repotting, this is the time also, like just the other orchid, we saw, if you see any of that, if it's a Dendrobium species, for example, this is a botanical orchid from Philippines. It's short day. If you see this, do not call 911, please. It's just a tree. Okay, look out your window. You're gonna have some tree, it's gonna turn yellow. So it's orchid, all right? So if you see that, that's okay. So this is the time you saw, since we're not doing any repotting, and the winter time is going to be not as dry as you don't water as often. So this is actually the time you start to do a inventory. Take a look at, I like always get personal and get close and personal with your orchid. All right, start looking for your pick up all the dry leaf. All right, there are some orchid like to be a little bit dormant, but know your orchid because this is some of the Dendrobium. If they are native from Philippines, for example, they don't go dormant. Okay, so this is what we call the evergreen type Dendrobium species. All you have to do is just pinch off some of the yellow leaf. Okay, then make sure you keep up with your feeding. Okay, we always feed our orchid food, normal orchid food every other week, twice a month. Okay, whether it's all year round. You might think that it's getting shorter. They don't need it. Wrong. They're gonna send out a lot of flower for you this coming spring. So what you are feeding them right now is actually getting ready for next spring. Okay, so if you don't have enough input on the fertilizer, instead of give you, remember a lot of the botanical orchid, this dendrobium, for example, species, they can rebloom from the old can. So the more you put in there right now, so what they're going to do is they're going to store it into all this can, and that's why the next year a lot of times they're going to flower on the new can along with the old can. So they're going to give a lot of flower. So we eat 3 meals a day. All right, so don't starve your orchid, especially in the winter time. Okay, if you live in the Pacific Northwest or Northeast, you might be colder temperature. Or you have to, and the media might be on the wet side. Instead of pouring into your media, you can do the foliar feeding. Okay, especially microfertilizer is wonderful for foliar feeding. All you have to do is just make out the dilution and just spray the leaf. The formulation is so refined, you can pick it up from the leaf. One of the orchids that getting really popularity is the Snail Chair and Calceum alliances, and this is the type I love them. I grow a lot of them, and this is the type of orchid. This time of year, you notice that this is the end of summer. They're gonna have a lot of dirty leaf. This is actually going outside. This is the after dark Black Pearl, the FCC, the very famous one from my good friend Fred Clark. So this I usually like to do is, they've been outside, and I don't spray a lot, so they're gonna have a lot of the mildew, and I'm actually gonna. So we're actually gonna take them in from outdoor. We're gonna put it in the greenhouse now, because the winter's coming, and our winter will be going down to 45, and it'll be too cold for this type. I can easily go to outdoor in my area. They tip 108 degrees, no problem. But they're not going to sustain outdoor. So what we're going to do is right now, look at this. They're beautiful. This is the one for outside. Okay, the Sinoche, they love to grow in the moss because they love water. So this is the type you start to cut off the water. Okay, so in a greenhouse or your collection, sometimes you forget not to water. The easiest way to do this is, instead of standing up, you just tilt it. That way, you're not gonna water. Not only that, we're gonna strip it. We're gonna go naked. So all this is gonna fall off anyway. So before I'm gonna take this in the greenhouse, I'm gonna take out all this old leaf because they have mildew and all kind of fungi, possible fungi in there. So before I take this into my greenhouse, because they've been outdoor all summer, okay? And plus, before they go in, I'm gonna probably do a spray with Bison again. And this is the perfect example of Millennium Magic. They're gonna drop off the leaf. Before I take them in, I wanna make sure all sheet, okay? Spray.
What?
Spray. Yeah. A lot of these sheet are a lot easier once you wet them. Okay. So once you wet them, it's a lot easier to peel off. Okay. So I'm actually forcing the dormancy on them. So if you're at home or you're under light, all you have to, because they're still wet right now. Okay. But they need, this is the time, you see, they're nice and moist and wet. Okay, this is the time you need to dry them, no water. Okay, and if you use, the easiest way is when you take it inside in a greenhouse under the light, all you have to do is tip it over like this. So that way, if you're next to each other, they will not get water, and you can leave it as long as with the moss, maybe 4 to 6 weeks without water, and then as long as that gives the time for the moss to dry out. Okay, so make sure you stop watering on all your Sinoches, Calceum, and pipe. All right, this type.
Can you still give Mega Thrive during that time period?
Yes, before you start, you can spray make a dry before you strip the leaf, and even when it defolded like this, when it tilted like this, go ahead and spray the suitable, because the suitable can pick up any other living tissue, can pick up the Norman orchid nutrient and also the make a dry. So, for example, the once you spray, after dark is the spring boomer. Magnetic Magic, this one for example, for some reason, they usually spike up October for Christmas, but we have such a hot weather, so they haven't flowered yet. So they still have potential. So I'm gonna tilt it and let it dry, and I think this one's gonna flower instead of this fall. They're gonna flower this coming February for me. All right. And another type of the orchid is engraving alliances. And engraving, this is the Staphylococcus, the very famous star of badminton orchid. They are the star shape. This is the Darwin Orchid, and this is the type. Right now, you start dry out the potting media. Okay, they're on the dry side now. Everything pretty much, a lot of botanical orchid, you start to reduce the water as the days get shorter. Okay, help them. Otherwise, if you keep watering them, or keep, especially if your fertilizer, okay, have a lot of urea or nitrogen, they're not going to go into flowering mode. And greg them, they always flower for Christmas. So this is the time I'm actually make sure I put it in the more light area. In the summertime, and greater Staphylococcus, I put in shadier because they don't, just the Phalaenopsis, they kind of dim. But knowing they're gonna flower now, obviously this is still spike already. Make sure you move if you have engraved Staphylococcus, move them to more light and set them ready for the flower spike coming up. Okay. And another example is, okay, this is the Dendrobium, another species, Dendrobium creatum. Okay. That's okay. Let them drop the leaf. Okay, this is the Alba, almost like shell orchid. Actually, this is from Philippines. Let them drop the leaf. I will start holding back the water. And my personal preference, there's two schools of theory. Some people like to have some foliage. I like it as so stressed. I like to be completely naked and let it completely dry off. So that when they dry off, the leaf send back, will reverse the energy, and the can will store a lot more energy for you. And so, but you get good resistance here. Okay, so this is the time I start maybe water, stop watering, maybe water every 2 weeks. But at the meantime, I do not also at the point to the can to be too dry or become shriveled. What you can do is just mix the leaf, mix the can. Okay.
With fertilizer?
With water and fertilizer.
Just
Yeah.
water and fertilizer.
Yeah, but you don't want to water the water because in the summertime, because they mount it, we probably water maybe 2-3 times a week. Okay, but now you want to completely just do it every other week of water. But in between, you don't want to be so dry. Depending on your area, because my area, we probably put this outdoor still. You don't want to be so dry that the soil will become dehydrated, and that might be reduce the number of flowers. So all you can do is just mix the can, keep them moist. All right. How are we doing on time?
Plenty.
All right. Yeah, Botanical Orchids is kind of a big group. Okay, how many of you have experience growing Diecaster? Any share hand? Any Diecaster grower? Okay, nobody know. Okay, Diecaster is a fine one. Okay, most people, this is Diecaster. Okay, Diecaster is the one that it's a species from South America, from Colombia. And this is the type, the Diecaster is a perfect example of the orchid that also like to be dry out this time of year. And this is Diecaster. So after the whole summer, the new growth, the suitable have matured, okay? And Diecaster is, and I like usually this time of year, I not only hold back the water, and I also like to cut off all the leaf. In Japan, the grower is trying very hard to have a retain of the couple foliage, and they flower in springtime, February, March. So I like to cut them all off because the last time, if you and the what happens in Japan is they actually fold the foliage up because the foliage can be shaded, the suitable, and all the suitable have a lot of miniature bud. You can see these are all flower bud coming up. You see here? Okay.
Show that one more time.
Show it here. So I'm going to cut this off. Okay. I'm going to actually, for Diecaster, I like to give it a haircut this time of year. Okay. You see all this previous. Okay. You see here? This is actually have flower bud forming, all this white one. But having cut off the leaf, I'm gonna give them extra light going down. So I'm gonna give you even, instead of 2 spike, possible 4 spike. So that is the trick to get more flower for Diecaster, is to cut the leaf off and make sure that there's plenty of light going down here. Make sure you trim off all the old sheet here, because the old sheet has done its purpose to protect the young, immature bulb. So this way, the insect cannot hide underneath here. Then, when we do, because we have the little drive, when we do feeding, we still can feed. Foliage feeding through the suitable with either fertilizer or make it dry. So remember, so that's why we want to expose, cut off all the dead leaf. So all the tissue. Remember, as long as they are green tissue, they can absorb the normal ultimate fertilizer and also make it dry. So, voila.
How much light for the winter? For that?
A lot of light.
A lot of light.
A lot of light. This time of year, you notice that the light intensity is not as strong as the summertime, right? So you can actually get in 4 morning sun. Morning sun before 12 o'clock, you can get in 4 morning sun. So what happens is, if for the maximum light, or if you go under light, put a pot underneath there, raise higher, because before you have a lot of foliage, you want to lower them, but now you can actually raise higher, get closer to your light to maximize the exposure, the photosynthesis to the suitable. And all this young bud is forming right now. So it's very critical. A lot of people tend to stop water for Diecaster, but you can actually legally and particularly do a foliar feeding with mega dry and just spray the foliage and the normal fertilizer, because it's very refined when they can penetrate the bulb. All right. And another one for this time of the year is, if you have Ringostatus gigantea. Okay, Ringostatus is like this. I love this. The Ringostatus is very fragrant, and they usually flower about Valentine's Day for me here, but this is the time they start setting the flowers bud. Okay, so this is Ringostatus gigantea, beautiful plant. So you also, because the summertime, we have been given extra shade, okay, because we have heat wave here. Right now the leaf is a little bit too dark for my taste. So I'm gonna make sure I move this. What we do in our greenhouse is we have extra shade in the summertime. We actually remove all the curtain above them for the summer. So we are going to maximize the light. And remember last time I said once a year in the fall we do also the Epsom salt potassium magnesium phosphate. Epsom salt is also going to help. Okay, it's all tradition, and I think it won't hurt. Okay, it will not hurt. It's also going to help build up more chlorophyll. Okay, increase the photosynthesis to set it up for the flower spike. So in about maybe a week or 2 weeks, maybe within a month, if you forgot to give it more light, your Engraving or your Diecaster Gigantea is going to be like green. Okay, so this is the critical time. Make sure you engrave them, or even Vanda, for example, Vendacious. Make sure you can give it extra light this time of year now. Okay. This is a perfect example of Hodoglossum. It's a cross with Vanda, and they are flower this time of year. But they do not need to have a cold period for them or dry period. You just want to make sure they give it more light, and voila, this is the miniature. They have half Gigantea in the background, okay? And they're going to reward you. So this one here, we're going to have a spike like this in the bigger form. They call it foxtail orchid because the flower looks like foxtail, and it's highly fragrant. So this is the fun one. So to make a conclusion on the botanical orchid, given this kind of unstable alliance but kind of intergenetic, increase the light now. You want to increase the light exposure to all your botanical orchid. If they are yellow leaf, driving leaf, that's okay. Just break them off and don't panic. Don't call 911. Make sure you keep up with your feeding. Every 2 weeks with fertilizer, and once every 2 weeks, every other week with fertilizer, make it dry, and start reduce the fragrancy of your orchid. Because in the summertime when it's hot, we keep drinking water, you know. But now it's just like us, common sense. It's now as hot. I'm going to have a shirt. I'm not going to drink as much water. So if you keep the same watering schedule as the summertime, you're going to give the plant a lot of disease problem, because what? Root rotting problem, bacterial problem, because they do not need it. All right. So make it simple. It's common sense. Before I move to the show and tell, any question? Jeff?
We're good.
Okay, good. All right. Brian, how we doing on time? The show and tell. Ooh.
Oh, Sue wants to know what is meant by botanical orchid.
Like I said earlier, botanical orchid is on the website. There's a botanical orchid section. Anything that is not in your major 5 category: Cymbidium, the Cattleya, Phalaenopsis, Paphiopedium, Vendacious, and I lump into botanical orchid. So it's not your major mainstream orchid. So a lot of the botanical orchid, it could be a lot of the species. It could be Masdevallia, or the warm grower or cool grower Masdevallia, for example. Masdevallia tenebrosa, the coconut orchid, is considered a botanical orchid. So I forgot about this one. So this one by now is finished flower. Just remember, you trim off all your old leaf. Pretty much just like other orchid before. Do a lot of house cleaning. Make sure there's a lot of air. Cut off some of the older leaf in the center. Okay, it's for the tenebrosa. Or you can do that for your Cattleya too. Make sure that some of the old leaf is removed, so there's a lot of it clean. So you're not going to have scale or insect in the center. All right. So we're going to the show and tell. Okay. This one is back in season again. For those of you that's been with me since the first time, this one I like about the fall. They were the heat kind of slow them down. But now with the cooler weather, this is the KS Happy Eagle. This is my chrome. This one actually is a fun one. Mount Fantastic Flare, because the temperature will change the flare. They can be all solid, no flare, or could be this. This is the fun one. Okay, so if you don't have this one, it's really fragrance too. Okay, next one. Oh, okay. Right, we have two of the stages, Calicidium, but they're very fragrant. This is the time to get them now because they are flowering in the springtime. Okay, one is this is the dark pearl. Okay, this is on the FCC, and this is another black one. Okay, this is the darkest one, but there's almost like reddish black. They dropped the leaf right now, so this is the best time to get it now. And then start not to water them, and they will have a flower in the springtime. So, crystal, this is the two. All right, Botanical Orchid, and the Carrier. This is the NSET hybrid. I love NSET hybrid, and we actually grow this outdoor. We can grow this outdoor easy, and this is one of the Orchid NSET. And guess what? They are spiking right now. Okay, so because the spike can be a little bit tall for this one, but this is the best stage to get it now. They are in spike, so perfect to get it. Okay, MC2127 is Coastal Sunrise. Okay, it's NSET by Helen Wells. It's a beautiful kind of raspberry orange color. Okay, and it's very hardy. You can go in Homestead all the way down to and hardy down to 45, and they can take the heat also. All right. Oh, this is someone. Okay, good. I thought we had this already.
Yeah, this one we already did. This
Okay, so what number is this? Okay. Oh. So this one is the Millennium Magic. Okay, this is the Millennium Magic, another black one. Okay. It's ready to go. It's all set it up to the dormancy. Okay, for the spring. And really fragrance too. Okay. And this is the Pixie. This is actually a fun Diecaster. Now this is the one, but this Diecaster is the one that you don't require a cold temperature to flower. So if you live in South Florida, this is perfect for you, because some of the Diecaster with skinny eye that only can grow at Orlando and north to Gainesville. They do need a cool temperature, but this is the one, the Pixie is crossed with two species, Copiata by Campbell. So this is is a warm grower. So if you don't need, this one does not need to have a dry period. The leaf can be evergreen if you go at a warm area, and the flower is going to be forming at the base. Here, actually it's done already. It flowers in the springtime already. So this suitable. Look how beautiful it can. This one gonna give you about 6 to 8 flowers per bulb. So this is the fun one. If you are in the warm area, so this is a warm grower, perfect for Arizona, Florida, Houston, Texas, perfect for this. All right. All right. Good. So, all right. We almost sold out of this one. This is my favorite, the Tenugrosa, the very good, the coconut one, orchid. All right. But this is the one that with the watermelon suitable. Okay. We have less than 10. If you thinking about this one here, get it now, because once we sold out of this, I do not know when we're gonna have this again, because this cannot be tissue culture or mass produced. We actually had to do it one ball and propagation, so that may be another 2 years. So, but this is the next batch might be not as nice and then full as this one. So watermelon, even though they're not in flower, but this is still, when they do have in flower in 4th of July, it's beautiful. You can see the suitable. Looks like miniature watermelon. Okay. If you like fragrant, okay, And if you cannot grow flower vanda, this is the Vandaceous, the Ringo Starlets, Gigantea. It had two color form, the Alba form, and also the red form. And this is the perfect timing to get it now because it's cheaper because it haven't flowered yet. But if you get a mature side, follow what I said earlier. This actually fine. Can you see this here? There's a spike coming up here. It's forming already. So, this is the red one. Okay, it's the white point there is a spike. Okay, so this spike will be flower for Valentine's Day. So you can give yourself a Valentine's Day gift. Okay, and throughout the year, I usually in the summertime I usually just go then with Phalaenopsis light. They like shade in the summertime. Okay, but this time of year, I open the shade curtain, get an extra light, the fertilizer, and voila, they sit in the spike. And this, the plant at this side should give you at least 2 spikes. Okay. All right, and this is the hybrid from the Diecaster Gigantea by using the species the genus called Hoplograssum. So it's actually cut down the size. And this is my MS Sunlight Sweetheart. This is the tetraploid form. This is the new version of it. So it's a 4N to give a bigger flower. So this is actually perfect for if you don't have in the northeast, northwest, you don't have a lot of light, you don't have a lot of space. This is a very good choice to have. And they are in spike right now. So getting they actually will be it's earlier than Gigantea. This is always the flower spring and fall. So this will be flower for you for Christmas. And once they're done flower, you cut them back. They're gonna flower again for about May and June for Mother's Day. Okay, so this is a fabulous one. Okay, and then of course the Darwin Orchid, the Ringo Star, the Engraving Supertidalia. Okay, they are with 2 sizes. This is the good perfect state to ship to get because sometimes when they're in bud, they're more temperamental to ship in bud. So the bud might burst it in the wintertime. So the best stage is to get it in spike and the flower is instead of the flower spike itself. And the common name is called Star of Badminton. So they flower for Christmas. This is the pure ivory white and have fragrance at night. And then for this is a seasonal item. This is Oncidium intergenetic. It's kind of strange beauty. This is original, and this is actually crossed with Oncidium and Miltonia, Columbia Miltonia. So if you cannot grow the regular pansy orchid, you can try this because you have the Oncidium leucocata in the background, the species from Mexico, so it's more heat tolerant. And how beautiful. So you can use this for anywhere in a tabletop display. So this is the one, okay, MC 509. Okay. This one's back in season again. Look, one of my favorites, yellow cattleya. Superstorm. Okay. The hybrid from Alpaca flare. Remember when I talking about the cattleya, my idea of modern cattleya, the size. Look at the size of the plant. This versus the all yellow can be like this big and leggy. This is the ideal cattleya. Compact plant, very handsome plant, very disciplined. Okay, we clean up all the suitable, dispose, so that way when we feed them, we can also feed the suitable here. Right? Superstorm. For twice a year, if you don't have a good and winter and the nice about this superstorm, not only they can flower in the summertime, sometimes they can flower as late as right now. There's not many good winter yellow. Most of the yellow, because with the Darwiniana hybrid, they tend to concentrate in the summertime. There's not many good yellow in the wintertime. So if you don't have good yellow in the wintertime for your collection, this is the one to get. Okay. Oh, Brian wanted me to make sure I show this one. This is the pure the one I showed you earlier. This is from the species from Philippines. We still have a few of this big, giant plant. Okay, look how beautiful. They're gonna be flowering in the springtime. They're pure white, and the flower looks like kind of shell, the seashell. Very fragrant. And Dendrobium patentum. NF 595. Last one. Okay. Last one, but not the least. This is Paphiopedium venostum. This is. It looks like Bordeaux, but this is actually the species. Does not require cold temperature. Okay, this is actually a warm grower, and we do flower at the same greenhouse as our regular Phalaenopsis. And nice about this species is, I like the leaf, the very compact leaf with a big flower, waxy flower. So if you cannot grow the big Bordeaux because they need cooler temperature to flower, if you this will flower in Miami or Homestead, just give extra shade, okay? And they always flower in the fall, this time of year, and very perfect for the holiday. All right. So, what?
Is that getting bigger?
Oh yeah. This is the Norman Smith. You know, the one where we pinch the flower, and I think it's getting bigger. I think maybe we can stretch to 6 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
Also need the water.
Okay.
Okay. So. That concludes today's session, and I'm gonna get off. And if you are a Fanatic member, we're gonna have a question and answer at 3 o'clock with me and Brandon Tam. So thank you very much, and stay safe. Make sure wear your mask and social distance. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.